Today we will continue using Adobe Illustrator and we will try to draw animals. And once I show you how to draw some animal, so let's start. First, let's just choose ellipse tool and let's draw a circle. To draw a perfect circle, we of course hold Shift. So let me draw a circle, maybe this size. The size doesn't really matter at the moment. And let's move it somewhere to the middle. And let's change the colors. Let's change stroke to none. And the foreground color maybe to blue grayish or something like this. So we've got our first circle. Now let's choose the same tool and let's draw another circle, another perfect circle. The size doesn't really matter right now. And after we draw it, let's change the color of the circle to white. And in the center of the circle, let's draw another circle. So to draw it in the center, we need to move our mouse to the center point. We left click, we start drawing. We hold Alt key on the keyboard to make sure it's drawing from the center of the previous circle, and we hold Shift to make sure it's a perfect circle. For now I'm gonna make it like this, and let's change the color to black. Now let's choose the selection tool and select our both circles. Like you see, it looks like this. So now we can hold Alt key. Like you see, when I press Alt key, it shows there is a second arrow, white arrow. That means we will copy it. So let's move it a little bit and copy it so they overlaps like this, more or less. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. So now we've got two circles. Those will be our eyes, as you probably already suspect. And once we select them, we can right click and group them together. So now they are all grouped together. If we click on one element, all of the elements are selected. Let's move them on our body. Let's make sure it's in the center. And then let's hold Alt key and Shift key while we are resizing it. So let's resize it a little bit so it goes a little bit out. And maybe let's move it a little bit down and make it bigger. Something like this maybe. So our eyes go outside. We can of course adjust it later as well. Maybe something like this. So we've got our eyes, we've got the head, and now maybe let's draw a square. So we choose tool over here again. We choose rectangle tool. And then let's draw a perfect square, so we need to hold Shift. And let's change the color, maybe to something like orange. And then we choose selection tool and we can rotate it by 45 degrees. After we rotate it, we can move it over here because this will be the beak. So make sure it's in the center. And after we put it here, we can right click, arrange and send it backward. So right now the beak is behind the eyes. So since we have this part already, let's click on our eyes, let's click on our beak, holding Shift. That's important. We click on our eyes, they were grouped, and if we want to also select the beak, we hold Shift and we click on it. Now it's all selected. And now we press Alt so we can copy it outside. Once we copy it outside, we will need to connect all of it together into one shape. So in order to do that, we can use Shape Builder like we used before. So this is the Shape Builder. You just click over here and Shape Builder will allow us to connect this shape into one shape. So let's just drag it like this. Let's just connect all of the things into one shape, just like this. And then let's choose selection tool. Let's move it back so it perfectly covers our eyes. Make sure it's perfect position. And after we do this, we go on the right side to layers. We expand the layers and we just move it a little bit down. Yes, so now our group of the same color is right below our eyes, and they are all selected, so we can expand it holding Alt key, so it will be in the same place. So hold the Alt key while you're expanding and hold the Shift key so it keeps the proportions, and expand it a little bit, just like this. And once we have this, we can change the color. So we change the color over here, just double click, just choose different blue color, maybe a little bit darker, maybe something like this, and then make sure that on the right side the beak is above. Yes, and of course the color over here that we just changed a moment ago, it could be also the same color as the head. So you can just press I, which is eyedropper, the tool is over here, and then click on this color that we want to have. And so right now it will look like this. So once we have this, let's select all of it and let's move it a little bit up. We have this done already, so now let's click on the circle that is our head and let's copy it. So we press Alt key and we drag it a little bit down, just make sure it's in the perfect position in the center. And after we do this, we can change the color of the circle. So we would go here and make the color a little bit darker, maybe like this. And then let's resize it. So one more time, we hold Alt, Shift to keep proportions, and we resize it a little bit, just like this, more or less. And our circle is in the back, so we have to send it backwards to be behind everything. So we move it here to the backward, or we can right click, arrange, and then send to back. Right now we've got something like this. And now we need to click on our original head. We hold Alt and we move it down. Make sure it's in the center. Let's move it down. And as you can see, when we move it down, it creates something like this. So those darker parts are like the wings of our bird, for example. But as you can see up here, it's not perfect, so it wasn't in the middle, so we will have to move it a little bit to the left maybe and make it a little bit smaller maybe. So let's change the size a little bit down and let's move it again to the right side so it's perfectly in the center. Yes, so now we've got wings, we've got the beak, eyes. So what is missing? Maybe we can move our body a little bit down. Maybe we can make the circle a little bit darker to make it look a little bit better. Of course, the colors are up to you. You can make it in any colors you want. And now let's add some legs to our bird. So to add legs, let's choose a rounded rectangle tool and let's draw 2 legs. We can of course change the color and let's move the first leg over here. If it's too big, we can make it smaller, and then holding Alt we can copy it to the other side. So the legs are already prepared, and now we can also, for example, make some haircut for our animal. So let me move this one up here. Let me rotate it a little bit. I'm gonna use eyedropper to change the color. Then I'm going to use selection tool. I will copy it to the other side. And it could be, for example, haircut like this, or I can, for example, move it to the other side by 45 degrees and make a haircut. Something looking like this. So our bird is ready. Of course, you can improve the look of the bird, just do it in your own style. And the owl is ready. You can of course add some feathers over here. In order to add feathers, you can, for example, use simple tool, just pen tool, for example, in order to draw something that would look like a feather. Just change the color of the feather to whatever color you want. You can change the thickness of the stroke. To change the thickness of the stroke, you would have to go to Appearance on the right side. And then over here we've got stroke, that is 1 point, so you can change it to be bigger. Yes? So, you can add feathers if you want, something like this for example. If it makes it look better or not, I'll just leave it for you to judge it. Just make it look however you wish it to look.
If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments, I will try to answer all of them. So, and that's it for today. Remember to click thumbs up, subscribe our channel and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching.